What are your thoughts around the contraceptive pill, or for anyone listening to this that has really irregular cycles because of hormones?
Thank you for asking this, because what has shocked me the most about as Fast Like a Girl has gotten out into the world is the number of 30-year-olds that have reached out to me and are like, okay, I'd like to get pregnant. I'm starting to feel some health concerns. A lot of them have PCOS, not really sure what to do because they've been on the pill since they were 13. Mm-hmm. So, and if we look at what the pill did, is it took us out of our natural rhythm. So it created a rhythm for us. So the first thing you want to do is find your rhythm. And, if you have a period, start tracking it. But within that, understand, when am I hungry? When am I not hungry? Get to know the personalities of these hormones and watch where they come in. So that, just observe yourself for 30, 60, 90 days and watch your moods, watch your hunger levels, watch your energy output, and you will start to see your natural rhythm. Mm-hmm. The second thing we have to, unfortunately, the sad part of the pill is it destroys the microbiome. And you need that microbiome to break these hormones down. So put a lot of love and care into supporting your microbiome. So again, I'm back at the fermented foods. I'm back at the polyphenol. Olives are great. This dark chocolate, I list them all out in the book. But you've got to think about repairing your microbiome so that it can break those hormones down. There's almost like you got to get to know yourself in a way that you've never allowed yourself to get to that point. Mm-hmm. And, we're so crazy intuitive that once we clue in and we kind of watch our rhythm and you learn the principles I'm teaching in the book, you will start to see where your natural rhythm is. And then the last piece I want to say on this, because we do this as women, is don't stop comparing yourself to other women. So, just like just like we shouldn't be fasting like the men in our lives, when you go to find your natural rhythm, understand it may be different than your sister. It may be different than your bestie. Own your own hormonal path. And I know it's scary. I know it might feel alone, but I feel like what's happened as women, for us, especially with social media, is we watch a friend go on a diet and we're like, oh my God, she lost 14 pounds. That's amazing. I'm going to do that. Or we watch a friend go to do a workout and we're like, oh my God, that's incredible. I'm going to go do that workout. And we forget that we have our own natural rhythm. So find your natural rhythm. I know you will find it because our intuitive sense as women is strong once we tap into it.
Honestly, I couldn't agree with you more. I think it took me a good 9 months to understand when I came off my period, because I was on the mini pill, so I didn't have a period for nearly 10 years. Because I had progesterone only. And that's one of the outcomes of going on the mini pill. And I was just, all over the place for 9 months and just terrified. But I do think it's around the tracking is something that I found really helpful just for yourself to see. And even now, it alerts me before I'm coming on. And I'm not the biggest lover of every tracker. I do think there's amazing trackers there. We can look at our glucose and we can look at lots of things. And sometimes if we kind of over-track ourselves, it can become detrimental as well. But I think definitely around our menstrual cycle, just being that awareness, it has really helped me. But something in this concept, and I just want to touch upon it because we're on the contraceptive pill, attraction to their spouse. Talk to me about what happens to women when they come off their pill and the attraction to their partner.
Yeah, so it's such a powerful study that made the news about a couple of years ago, and then it went away. And I'm like, wait a second, can we bring this back? Because this
Let's bring it back now. Let's bring this back.
Yes, we can. You and I on our platforms together, we can do this. So here's what happens is when you're on the pill, it takes you out of your natural rhythm, but it also takes you out of so many intuitive senses that you are equipped with. And one of them is that we are attracted to our mates based off of things like smell. Mm-hmm. And in that smell, the attraction that we have to our mate is because they have a smell that supports our immune system. So think about that in a moment. Why would we need a smell that is going to support our immune system? because the female body is meant to reproduce. And as much as if you're like a woman who's not having kids and you're like, want to push that away, I hear that. But what it does is that we need, when we're pregnant, our immune system goes down because we have foreign DNA in us. We have our husband's DNA in us. So we need our immune system to be a little suppressed, and we need a good balance of our immune system. So when we seek out a mate, we seek out the mate that's the best immune system match to us, and that is done through smell. When you are on the birth control pill, that changes. That's what this study showed, is that your ability to, your attraction to your mate that might have not been through smell, you get off the period, your pill, and now you're literally smelling your mate differently, and you are either going to be maybe more attracted or less attracted. But what this study showed is that a lot of women had marital problems when they got off the pill because that attraction changed, and it was all through smell.
Oh my God, they got the ick.
Right? Crazy, right?
I'm like, they got the ick. That's nuts. Okay, anyone listening to this on the contraceptive pill, be very aware when you come off it.
Right.
You might not fancy your partner.
Yeah. And just be aware. I mean, this doesn't mean like, oh my God, I thought I was in love with my husband, but maybe I'm not. This is more awareness. Everything in this conversation has been about awareness. Yeah. And because there is so much guilt, shame, and frustration for women, especially right now. And it's all because we're not having conversations like this. So you just be aware of it. And then I'm going to even go one step further and go, okay, it's time for us to find a male contraception. Like, yes, we've got condoms, but there's some research that's actually being done now on why can't men take a pill that would suppress sperm production? And there's a lot of research being done on that right now. The fact that we only have contraceptive options for women outside the condom is sad. And that has to change because it's just manipulating our whole hormonal system.
Thanks so much for listening. To hear the full episode, there's a link in the description.